for you to know, this is the front axle. This is how much play there is in the steering. There's a little bit of loose. You might see it. So this is the steering box, and this is the loose I got. So it's about time to. Oh, that's a little bit loose, huh? Okay, that should be an easy fix then. Okay, but yet for this, that's not a so easy fix. So there's a thrust bearing, greaser up and down, and there's 1-inch pin inside of it. And if I remember, on the other machine I have, the pin might wear down, and there might be bushings also inside. So I'll see what needs to be fixed there, so I get the better alignment there. Update on the project. So I didn't film it all. So I removed the Kingpin from here. So the Kingpin is being held captive here with a bolt and actually a set screw and a nut to keep the set screw in this position. So that's a 1-inch hole, a little bit more than that. Actually the pin is 25 millimeters, which is a little bit under 1 inch. So you get a little bit of play so you can fit inside of it. So if you look at this, so it's ready to be pushed back. I put a new bushing here. Basically I took a 1-inch pipe of copper, which fit exactly the size of that diameter. 1 and 1.1/8 outside, 1 inch inside, and the pin is slightly under 1 inch. So it's going to be much better than what it used to be. Shall be quite a good fit. There's some joints that are loose. I'm going to make sure that the bolt had its pin. There's one ball joint, a left hand thread. Hopefully I can get the part on Amazon, so you can see it. It's shut. It's loose, totally loose. It's not good. That's induced a lot of loose in the wheels. I'm waiting for that part to reassemble back the whole thing. On the other side, this looks in good shape except for the boot. I ordered some boots. What else? On this one I was not able to remove the pin, but the loose is very minimal. And on this side, interesting one. So this one I cannot remove it from inside of it. So I'm waiting. So this one is not in a bad shape. Might just keep it for now. So the tie rod is on the actual rod is on the floor. I might keep it for now. I did order one part for this one is right hand. Yeah, this is a right hand, the other one is a left hand. If I have the part, I might try to so I removed the bolt. I removed the nut, but it doesn't want to budge, so I'm going to spray again some lubricant. I tried heating it, nothing worked. I don't want to break that. If I break that, then I'm in trouble. So that's cast iron here, that rod. I clean the bearing here while pushing some degreaser, so to remove the old grease. You see the color of it. This is pretty much the kind of grease that was inside, all black. It's spinning very well now, so should be good for another 50 years, I guess. One project I didn't put on camera is to reinstall this small box, toolbox. There's nothing in it for now. It came along with the tractor here, was not assembled in it. Usually it's going to sit a little bit lower. too close to the seat, whenever the suspensions is acting, sometimes it will bang this toolbox. And by the way, I did put new rubber springs on this seat. I replaced all the bushings. Here there's bushings everywhere, so I replaced them all, so it shall be much stiffer, and the suspension should be working as it's supposed to be. I put a seat belt in the past, so this one is worn a little bit, but it works. And I did the same with the other seat I have from my other case, so it's ready to install. So this is pretty much the extension I did. Let me put some light here. So that's the extension I did from the seat, let's say fixture, up to the chest. Those springs look in decent shape. They look rough on the outside. This one, they are lacking a little bit of strength. I'm going to put that on the other case. And yep, to clean this adjusting rod, so it can adjust the tension on it. So everything should be in a good working order now on this seat. And I'll also add a safety belt on this one. Well, I'm back at it. I got some parts from Amazon. Thank you for Amazon for providing me the exact same replacement. Left end threaded tie rod, and if that wasn't for Amazon to get me that, I don't know where I could get that. You would say, oh, go to Case. Yeah, go to Case with the 1962 model. Of course, they will eventually get the parts, but you know what? It's going to be a long search, sometimes trials and error. You'll say, maybe the dealership is not good. You know what? I'm not expecting them to be good at finding parts for such an old machine. I don't blame them, but I cannot rely on them, though. Not all the time. So thanks, Amazon. And the right hand thread. Added bonus is the zerk on top of it. So far I didn't make any work with the lathe on video. Be kind, I'm not an expert with that. It's missing also half of the speed, so I'm left with very high speeds yet until I fix it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, this is a pipe with a 1/2 inch inside, and I want to increase the bore to 3/4 of an inch here. So this is basically what I'm going to do with that. So the speed was not ideal, but let me show you what's happening here. So there are two speeds, and this one actually push a stop button. Looks like it's engaging, but within that zone there's something that's not engaging. We've seen with Mike there's a pin missing, so we'll have to dismantle this all and to fix it because it's free spinning. Okay, and A is the quickest speed, going from 380 up to 2100, whereas the B would go from 46 to 264. So that's a good reason why this lathe was left cheap price. You believe me? I'm going to fix that one day. For the time being, ignore that. This is going to be the other project. Basically, I had this tie rod that goes from the steering box up to the first hub, which steers the first wheel, and the second tie rod steers the second wheel. So this one had, so this one is in good shape. I got new boosts to cover that, and I'm going to punch a hole here and put a grease zerk, so it's going to extend its life. The rod is 3/4 of an inch in diameter. This one is, you can see it, there's quite a good play, and this specific play is going to have an effect on two wheels, not ideal. This is a single piece, so I cut that here. I measure also from pin to pin 23 1/4. It needs not to be that accurate because actually this is what is going to make the, let's say, the steering wheel in the center. You know what, I don't care about that. So I did two bushings. You can see one is the hole bigger than the other one. Reason being, 3/4 of an inch shall fit here. And then this is the left hand thread ball joint I had removed from the second tie rod. It's in still good shape. There's no play into it except for the squeaking sound. Again, I'm going to punch a hole here, put the grease zerk. This thread is a left hand thread. I'm not going to thread the inner part of it, so it's going to go like that. It's a little bit loose, I don't know why, but anyways, it's going to work, you know. And then I'm going to butt weld this piece of pipe to the proper length, so I can get proper, let's say, wall and diameter to be strong. It's going to be easier to butt weld this. So first of all, I need, at this point, I'm going to deburr this and this to make sure that I get, so it's not the same diameter, so it's going to butt against the inside. So I need to make sure that I'm fully okay. This is where it's going to stick, like that. So now I need to go down to 23 1/4. And by the way, this is not the first time I do a tie rod for a tractor. Actually, this one had the ball end, actually the main part of the tie rod being replaced. On the other tractor, I did that like 10 years ago, still holding fine, so I'm not worried about that. Okay, I did punch a hole to make sure that I can also weld part here and the remaining here, so to get some. This one is not bad because it's very stable. This one got some loose, so although it's a longer fit inside, I should have done this one longer, but it's too late. I'm going to weld here and here inside so it gets proper alignment. It's not expected to work that hard, except it's always axial load. Yep. Okay, this is the end product, to which I'm going to now add a whole reserc. By the way, one trick to add that, if you can see it, 1/4 28 is the thread, and you buy nuts for the same thread, and basically what you do is you drill a hole and you weld the nut, and voila, easy like that. So you need not to rely on thickness of material whatsoever. You can put that anywhere, anytime, easy like that. So I'm going to drill a hole, weld that here, and it should be greasable, I'm assuming so. Okay, this is it. I'm going try it for the first time. Yeah. Yep. I have a hole here. A lot of grease came up. Oh yes. Except for the fact that I do have a tiny hole here. I'm going to organize that. I'm going to try the other one just in case there's a hole on this one as well. One shall go freely a little bit more. Otherwise I will confuse. Oh yes. Look at that. Oh yeah. Exactly as planned. So again, Amazon. So I can chase that kind of pieces. So there's different sizes, holes. There is one model of each. I'm going to try to get the right model and fit that. Yes. Look at that. Beautiful. Take this one here. Beautiful. Like brand new. See you in the next video. Thanks.